Thank you, Mr. Chairman, my friend from Michigan. Thank you to the witnesses for being here. This reminds me a little deja vu all over again, Yogi Berra, and arguments in this committee some years ago about for-profit colleges and whether they were developing efficiencies overall and preparing young Americans for critical thinking and actually going into the workforce and being productive. Dr. Del Peller, in that regard, as a member from the Bay Area who has had conversations with skeptical investors who invested in technology 20 years ago and did quite well, but now are similarly skeptical about AI being oversold by investment community. I just finished a wonderful book on the subject matter, The AI Con. So 86% of teachers and students, according to the Center for Democracy and Technology, used AI in 24-25, and a similar amount were skeptical about the practical application and the value, both from teachers and from students and their experience. So good ideas can be bad, just like old ideas. What kind of guardrails do we have to thoughtfully look at? And I'm not against using technology, and my district surrounds the University of California and is in between three national laboratories. So using technology, but it's how we apply it and make sure it's done in such a way that there's a benefit that is measurable, that's sometimes, well, it's frequently difficult to measure. How do you prepare young people to go out and have successful lives?
I would say that one of my concerns, especially around AI, is bias, the presence of bias, and who it biases in these systems. There was a study recently that showed that a person of color with an ethnic-sounding name actually, when they were asked a question around selling a bike, actually were advised to pay a lower price or a higher price than a person with a non-ethnic sounding name. And so that bias exists in AI. We know that if you have bad data that goes in, bad data comes out. And so I would say, one, we have to protect bias. Two, I think data protection is critical. We continue to look for a silver bullet, not only in education, but in society writ large. And I would argue that in education, higher education, we talked about the internet being an innovator. We talked about MOOCs being an innovator. We talked about tablets being an innovator. And still, we use these things as props. And so I would say that, while I think we need to continue to think about the guardrails, especially around AI, we need to protect students, and we need to ensure that we're protecting against bias. The most disruption we saw in education and higher ed was during the pandemic. And so when we're forced to change, oftentimes is when we see change in higher education.
So on the full student experience, spending a lot of time looking at that, particularly for disadvantaged communities, and being in a state where the CSU system, the community college system, and the UC system work really well and efficiently, particularly community colleges where transfer students regularly in my district can get their AA and have a pathway to a UC or a CSU. But we've been spending more and more time, for a variety of reasons, technology foremost amongst them, on behavioral health support for the students. So speak to that a little bit. All this disassociation in technology, we now know how that has hurt younger people in cognitive development, but also college-age students. So getting this right is first do no harm. Let's make sure that we're not inhibiting innovation, but also that it's not, we're not investing in it in such a way that there's so much damage we have to go back and repair that damage generationally.
Yeah, we shouldn't be innovating at the expense of students or at the expense of anyone, to be perfectly frank with you. And so I do think as we look at the challenges, especially post-pandemic, students are struggling with the mental health, struggling with access to mental health services. And so I do think we have to be thinking about how we provide those services that not only provide students with their basic needs, but also those needs that allow them to thrive. And so as we think about how we're supporting students, we have to think not only about if we're providing them access to the internet or to the most innovative curriculum, but also if we're providing them access to those other services that are critical for student supports.
So on one level, as a former small business owner, reducing cost, I get the efficiency of having teleclasses and using the scale, but you've got to figure the whole cost analytically. So if it's beneficial for bringing down the costs, but if there are societal costs, how do we analyze that and prepare ourselves for that and be at the least aware of it? And with that, I'll yield back.